It's no longer possible to use YouTube without sooner or later having to see an ad where a man in his mid-20s tries to explain to me how easy it is to make 6 figures every month.
You know, a guy's sitting there right now watching this and I got my last grand, dude, and I got Christmas coming. Should he spend it on this?
Absolutely.
Everyone wants to earn more money, and a few really need it urgently. The worse off you are financially, the more hope they can awaken in you. And that's exactly the product that business coaches are actually selling. Hope. They sell hope, and alongside you get a course with useless information that you can easily find on YouTube. We all know their Instagram profiles. I'm not going to mention any names, but they pose in front of their luxury villas, private jets and sports cars. They have thousands of followers, and in their story highlights we can see testimonials from satisfied customers. Private chats where alleged customers thank them for the great collaboration. If you haven't encountered them on Instagram or TikTok yet, you've surely seen them on YouTube. They appear in ads where they briefly present their background story. They show you a few receipts of their earnings, and then you receive a free offer. A free training or a webinar that is only available for a short time. Step 1. The webinar. The webinar is sold to you as a live call. However, it's a pre-recorded session with a fake chat. At the beginning of the webinar, the coach acts as if he is live and asks you to write a message in the chat. Bots then spam the fake chat to make it appear that you are not alone. You can also interact with the chat, but no one will read your message because you are the only real person in this webinar. The coach begins by telling his story. He wants to establish a connection with you and show you how much you have in common. He had financial troubles, felt trapped in his financial situation, and wanted to lead a more self-determined life, just like you. But then he changed his mindset and, most importantly, started investing in himself. And after investing in himself, he became successful and is now the person you want to be. They emphasize the importance of investing in oneself because that's what the webinar is all about. They sell you a course, and the free training or the live call is a hook. The free value you were promised in the ad is just a sales funnel for their product. The call to action. This is how they win your trust. People who land on sales pages or websites through ads are called cold traffic in the marketing space. You are currently too cold to be directly sold to. That's why they talk to you for 1 hour and slowly warm you up, and in the end there's a call to action with a time limit. The course they want to pitch to you at the end has several modules, and they claim that each module alone is worth about $2,000. And overall, the course actually has a value of about $12,000, but just for you, there's an offer today. $1,500. And if you're not sure, then you have a problem, because this is your last chance, as the timer next to the buy now button is slowly running out. You had all the time during the webinar to watch it, but now that everything has been said once, there's a timer. You have to make a decision now. They use scarcity to push you into making a quick decision. They don't want you to have time to think about it because you'll see through how bad the offer is. The coach talks about how he makes millions in revenue in his industry. But why is he offering a course now?
If you're a millionaire, why sell a course?
Let's assume it's true that the coach makes millions in revenue. To be fair, some of these coaches can also demonstrate some receipts. Many of these business models are extremely difficult to scale up and maintain for a long time. For example, dropshipping, the most common business model for beginners. You have way too much competition, very poor product quality from China, 2-week delivery times, extremely low margins, high advertising costs, constantly rising prices, customs fees that eat up your margin even further, returns and so on. But let's say you manage it and you have a shop with regular sales. In e-commerce, a net profit margin of 20% is considered as very good, but the average profit margin is about 10%. Let's assume a very good scenario. To make a profit of $10,000 per month with a margin of 20%, you would need to generate approximately $50,000 in sales per month. Let's say your product costs $50. To achieve sales of $50,000, you would need to sell it 1,000 times every month, and most people don't even get into this situation. Most just lose money. Overall, it's not impossible, but it's much harder than it's often portrayed. It becomes clear relatively quickly when taking the first steps in this industry, and that's exactly why many do the following. They take their knowledge or knowledge from others and create a course. In the course, they tell you everything you need to know except for the information that would prevent you from getting into the business model. You get that information later, and the course then costs $299. What they previously had to achieve with about 6 sales, they can now make with 1 single sale. And this time they can keep way more profit because there are no purchase, production or shipping costs to deduct, as they can replicate a digital product an infinite amount of times. As mentioned, there are usually several modules and you have to work through each one. They show you step by step what you need to do to become successful. At first glance, it often seems like a lot because there are many modules with further steps. But what many of these courses have in common is that they sometimes have modules full of videos that are only 30 to 60 seconds long, in which they show you how to create a logo on Canva or register with Shopify, and that's it. And out of 6 modules, you end up with 3 that actually show you something that you did not know. Completely irrelevant information that has nothing to do with the business model itself and can be found on YouTube in seconds. Imagine spending hundreds of dollars just to watch a few bad YouTube videos. There's actually only one important question left to ask here. If I am successful in my industry and earning a lot of money, why would I reveal to strangers what I do and ensure that I have even more competition? Certainly not out of altruism. They're not really competing with you. They sell you a course, give you only basic knowledge about an industry they themselves don't want to be involved in. They talk to you about patience and hard work and then send you full of hope into an adventure that will quickly come to an end.